Welcome back to another episode of the Save Saturdays Cascade Mountaineers Realistic Dynasty. As you can see up on the screen, we have the playoff picture for the first college football playoff of the Dynasty. Clemson comes in as the number 1 team, Alabama 2, Michigan 3, Oklahoma 4. So 2 of the real teams from the college football playoff, Alabama and Michigan, make it in this virtual one. Cincinnati and Georgia, the national champions, did not make it. We'll figure out where they ended up as we get back over to the game, back into the gameplay, and go through the end of the season up until progression. That'll be where part 1 stops. So I can go back in and do the progression tool, get the dynamic progression, and then I'll come back with part 2 where we wrap up the offseason. So those will be 2 halves of the same video. I'll just call it 16 and a half instead of episode 16 and episode 17. So that'll be how we do it. So here was the playoff. And we had Michigan take on Alabama, Clemson take on Oklahoma. Alabama beats Michigan, and Oklahoma gets revenge, beats Clemson. I think that's revenge. I'm pretty sure they played in the past. Not 100% positive. They play at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And it goes as you would expect, as Alabama comes out as the champions. Bryce Young does not win the Heisman in this fake world, but he does lead Alabama to a national championship, unlike in real life. I did bump Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajun, out of the playoffs because they were undefeated, but I'd like to think that the playoff committee would have held them out in real life, so I bumped them down to number 5. I'm a group of 5 truther as well. I was right there with everyone, pounding the table for UCF and Cincinnati, but I just want to be realistic. College Football Playoff Committee would not put a 1-year 12-0 team out of the Conference USA or the Sun Belt. I think they're in the Sun Belt. Would not put one of those teams into the College Football Playoff. That's just the way it is. So those are champions. Alabama, I've gone ahead and simmed to the end of bowl week. It's not showing up here. One sec. There we go. And then gameplay. There we go. It was on the wrong one. So what you missed is Platt set the new school record with 18 sacks. Technically speaking, these are all new records because we didn't exist previously. But these are all Georgia Southern records that Cascade people are breaking. Colton Guy sets the school record with 7 interceptions. Those are the only 2 that we're going to end up with. We're going to go look at the top stories. Let me turn on the sound real quick. Got it muted. There we go. All right, so Alabama's on top. Apparently it's disputed. I don't know what that means. They won the college football playoff, so that's a load of baloney. We'll go look at the top 25 polls, see what's disputed about it. Alabama, maybe Louisiana, who won their bowl game. Okay, so Louisiana is getting votes is getting all of the votes to be the team that makes the college football playoff, but that isn't the truth. Alabama won the national championship, as you can see right there. College football playoff national championship. Alabama 21, Oklahoma 17. Louisiana was in the Rose Bowl against Indiana, and they won. They won by 4. So respectable season for the Ragin' Cajun, but they didn't win the national championship. That's just not what happened. Oh, that's gross. Yeah. All right. So just scroll through these really slow. As you can see, Fresno State picks up a win in a bowl game. That is a team that we played against this year. Ball State wins the Barstool Arizona Bowl. Boise State wins the Hawaii Bowl. It's another team we played this season. Cincinnati loses the Military Bowl to New Mexico. Quite the fall in their virtual season from their actual season. Can't remember if we played Oregon State or not. We might have played Oregon State this year. They win their bowl game, the LA Bowl. Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. Listed as the Red Box Bowl here. Nebraska wins the Guaranteed Rate Bowl by 1 point over the University of Alabama, Birmingham. We want Bama. Georgia ends 9-4, 6-2, and in the SEC, and wins the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. This is a game that actually happened in real life this year. Penn State came out on top. Yikes, Ohio State kills Appalachian State in the Citrus Bowl. UCLA gets a decent win in the Fiesta Bowl over UCF. Florida, who was horrible this year, trash, garbage, beats Iowa State in the Sugar Bowl. Here is our college football playoffs. And there's the championship game. So that's how bowl season played out. Go check out the Heisman winner. It was Hassan Haskins from Michigan, followed by Breece Hall, Isaiah Bowser, Jarian Ely, and Damian Pierce. So it was all running backs. As you can see, nearly top 2,000 yards, had 18 touchdowns. His longest rush was shorter than Edmund Chandler's, I'd like to point out. Only 291 receiving yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. So not really getting involved in the pass game. Doesn't return at all either. So there's Hassan Haskins. All-Americans. DJ Uiagalelei. First team. Justin Ross, who just signed as a UDFA with the Chiefs. Notice how Breece Hall is higher than Hassan Haskins. Interesting. Wonder if that's just like a... Wonder if that is just straight up a like alphabetical thing, or if he was, according to the game, a better running back in the All-America vote. Oh, Hendricks wins first team returner of the year, All-America returner of the year. Nick Starkel, who we faced this season, wins second team All-America honors. Jackson Platt gets second team All-America honors for his great sack season. Colton Guys, for his 7 interception campaign, gets second team All-America honors. Go check out the... Oh, we didn't check out the freshman team. All-America freshman team. Edmund Chandler, as expected, gets up on the list. I'm going to say that it is not an alphabetical thing. Urasek, who absolutely dominated us at tight end for Stanford, gets on the list. No other Mountaineers make it on the all-freshman team. Go check out the independents. Edmund Chandler is up there as the first-team running back. Hendricks, first-team wide receiver. I'm surprised by that because he didn't have very good receiver stats. I mean, he's not bad, but it could be a lot better. Let's see what this guy had. Notre Dame didn't put... Yeah. Bad year for receivers in the independents. There's only four teams, so I guess it's a little bit easier to make this all-conference team. Hendricks does not win returner All-America, all-conference honors because he was already a tight end, already made it as a tight end. Caleb Hatfield makes it as a second team all-independent. And then basically our entire secondary gets in as second team recipients. Go check out the award winners. We didn't have any. I know we had one finalist for the Nagurski. Just look for anything interesting. Levi Lewis. He's with Seattle Seahawks now. He's wearing number 15. I saw a tweet about it. He was in the Maxwell. Adrian Martinez gets in the Walter Camp. Let's look at his stats. He definitely got hurt. I don't know how many games did he play in. 0 interceptions. If you've ever seen Adrian Martinez play, it's not usually the Adrian Martinez you're seeing is a 0 interception Adrian. 685 yards. Do you have any fumbles? Four fumbles. So he at least showed up in the turnover stats in one spot. I don't think he played every game, though. There's no way he played every game. There needs to be a games played stat. Average yards per game. Average attempts. He's averaging 18.3 attempts per game. Okay. Let's see. 201 divided by 18.3. So that says he played in 11 games. 10.9 games. I wonder if we can go look at Logan Smothers. See how many... We know Logan Smothers played. I noted that earlier in the season. Let's go check out the conference standings real quick and see what Logan Smothers' stat line is. We're not allowed to look. I'm going to figure it out. Stats. There we go. Season stats. Show me Logan Smothers. I'm a Nebraska fan, so this means something. He had 146 attempts, so I would say Adrian played 8 games. He did terrible. 6 for... Yikes. Nebraska would have won the Big Ten if Adrian Martinez stayed healthy. That's all I'm seeing. Oh, no Sauce Gardner. Derek Stingley Jr. makes the Bednarik, but no Sauce Gardner. Interesting. Oh, Jackson Platt makes the 12th on the Bronco Nagurski list. He's a senior, though, so he's not coming back next year. So we'll need to immediately replace him. Starkel wins the Quarterback of the Year award, the O'Brien. Bryce Young comes in at 12th, despite leading Alabama to a national championship win. Ty Freifogel wins Receiver of the Year, as none. Jahan Dotson, only first-round wide receiver that makes it on the list. Christian Watson, because I'm a Packers fan, he would have won. He would have been on the top of that list. The one-time retired Grant Calcaterra makes the Mackey Award list. Evan Neal, first-round pick, he makes it. Thayer Munford, I know he got drafted. Later rounds, though. Ikem Ekwonu, he was a first-round draft pick, top 10 draft pick to the Panthers. He gets 12th on the Outland Award list. Remington for the, is it top center? Yeah, top center. No Cameron Jurgens, who went in the second round from Nebraska. Tyler Linderbaum, the first round man out of Iowa, goes, though. He gets second. I'm not sure what this award is. Lombardi. Maybe end of the year. Defensive lineman of the year. That's what we'll go with. Buckus is linebacker of the year. Jojo Doman somehow gets his way on there. He was an undrafted free agent to the Indianapolis Colts. No Sauce Gardner again. Groza is top kicker of the year. Definitely not going to be our boy Knutson. It looks like he's not going to show up on the... Nope, didn't get the Guy Award. And the Johnny the Jet Rogers Returner of the Year Award. No Henricks, despite winning first team All NCAA Returner of the Year, does not win The Johnny the Jet Rogers Award. Interesting. Okay. Conference standings. We already got a peek at those. We'll just go ahead and look at every single one of them. ACC, the champion Clemson. We saw them in the college football playoff. They ended with 3 teams in the top 25. The American UCF is the top team. And they're the only ranked team at 14th in the country. Big 12. 1, 2, 3. 3 teams in the top 25 as Oklahoma wins the championship there. Big 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 teams in the top 25. Michigan gets the championship win. And the East continues to dominate with the top 4 teams in the conference before Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, Illinois represent the West. Conference USA does not finish the season with a ranked team. Notre Dame finishes 17th despite an 8-4 record because the Notre Dame bias is real. No ranked teams out of the MAC. Only a top 25 ranking for Fresno State in the Mountain West. Good to see this conference be down a little bit, especially with 2 terrible teams. They'll be looking to expand, add Cascade pretty soon here, hopefully. Pac-12, 1, 2, 3. 3 ranked teams. Only one of which we played this year, as UCLA wins the conference. SEC, Bama wins the conference as expected. Florida, Georgia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ranked teams at the SEC. That is tops in this list. So congratulations to the SEC. And then the Sun Belt, they have the Ragin' Cajun, who went undefeated, 13-0. Win the media poll as the media national champions. And the Coastal Carolina also ranked in the top 10. So 2 top 10 teams, and then no one else even sniffs the top 25 for the Sun Belt. What was the score in the Coastal Carolina? Okay, Coastal Carolina and ULL did not even meet in the regular season. That's how you get in the national championship, is you get those teams in. Final stats for the year: DJ Uyunglele wins the passing yardage race. Parker Cron ends up outside the top 100. Rushing wise, Chandler finishes with 1,200 yards, 34th in the nation. Huge jump up after a really rough start to the season. B. Roberts and Hassan Haskins duel it out for the rushing yardage lead, and Brian Robinson Jr. out of Alabama also right there with them. Only 11 yards separating the top 3. Receiving yardage, we don't even have a guy registering in the top 200, I think. Fresno State receiver, San Jose State receiver, and Chris Autman-Bell from Minnesota is the only Power 5 wide out in that ranking. Ty Freifogel, the wide receiver of the year, the Bolitnikoff winner, nowhere to be seen in that. We finished with 3 players in the top 5 in tackles, which is expected with a Dynasty because they don't add assisted tackles correctly. They all go in as solo tackles, so cut these down to like 30s, 40s maybe. Fulton guys, Tanner Templeton Sphelia, my bad, Ethan Winchester, all ranking in there. McCrary, Ball, though, and Flint, they had great seasons. Jackson Platt wins by almost twice as many sacks as the rest of the college football. Jermaine Johnson, the second, the newest Jet, he's also chilling up there with 9.5 sacks. I think that's less than he had in real life. Colton Guys ends 4th in the country with 7 interceptions. He was 4 shy of the lead. F. McGee III out of Eastern Michigan had the lead, and Derek Stingley Jr. chilling there in second with 9. He went to the Houston Texans 3rd overall recently. Houston just finishes just inside the top 100 at 99th with a 44-yard kick. Longest kick of the year, 56 yards by the Texas A&M kicker. Team stats. We're middle of the pack. Middle of the pack for total yards. Not gonna lead any one direction. Finish fairly high in points per game. Gonna finish middle of the pack for both of these. I see, yeah. Middle of the pack for passing touchdowns. And I'd say top 35 for rushing touchdowns. Sacks allowed. I feel like we should be at the top, but we're near the bottom. First downs were the second worst. That's great. All right, we're going to go ahead and advance through the end of the season. Get up to player progression, and then I'll pause, do the player progression, show it to you guys, and then we'll jump back into the game here. So, let's go ahead and advance week. It's going to be coaching carousel first. Oh, we got a contract extension. There we go. I'm going to sign it. Alabama re-signs Nick Saban. I imagine he'll retire fairly soon because of age. Jim Harbaugh resigns. Ryan Day resigns. Lincoln Riley is staying at Oklahoma this time around. Dan Mullen does not get fired. Dabo Swinney re-ups. Ooh, Brian Harsin. Scandal there. He almost got fired this offseason. He resigns. Kirby Smart re-ups. Brian Kelly stays in South Bend. Does not depart for LSU. Clay Helton does not get fired after a 9-4 season. Manages to stay alive. Ed O doesn't get fired. James Franklin does not get fired. Jimbo Fisher, he's staying at Texas A&M. Miami sticking with Manny Diaz, not going after, I can't remember his name, but he's about to come up here. He's not going after Mario Cristobal. UCLA also staying with Chip Kelly. Mario Cristobal staying in Oregon, excuse me. Steve Sarkisian staying in Texas. Everyone had their contract expire, and they're all just re-signing. Let's get something scandalous here. Jimmy Lake, who was fired like midway through the season for a scandal, he's staying. We'll wait till there's an unexpected job. I think the entirety of college football is going to stand pat. I'm going to just go ahead and sim through the next stage. That looked like there might have been a little bit of a glitch with revamped and how this roster is set up. It almost looked like no one got fired. Can't have been. It can't have been that easy. All right, coaching changes. Let's see if there was anything out of that was unexpected. Reason for leaving. Fired. Okay, we did have some fires. We only want to know head coaches. Akron, Arizona, Arkansas. Gus Malzahn is now the head coach at Arkansas. Colorado. Missouri, TCU, Utah State, Purdue. Whoa, Jeff Brom. I don't think he's going to get fired in real life. Boise State has a new head coach. Interesting. Retired. David Cutcliffe, the only one to retire. And then it's just all extensions. You can go back and slow that down, but nothing happened really big in the landscape of coaches, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it now. We got a good crap graduate in here. Caleb Hatfield, probably one of the only players we're going to miss. Jackson Platt as well. Shelley, he was like a rotation DB. Connor Jones, nope. Campos, he was okay. Yeah, not really missing anyone here. We're also not losing anyone to transfer, so we'll take it. Not exporting that draft class either. Draft results? Nope, no one drafted. Let's see if anyone from Nebraska got drafted, namely Adrian Martinez. Martinez does not get drafted. Doman goes in the second round. Stilley goes in the second round. Taylor Britt goes in the second round. So, oh, I forgot to do. I'm an idiot. All right, it's too late. I forgot to do players leaving correctly. That's my bad. Right guard from Fresno State is transferring in, but he's a big dude, 6'6", 315, 68 overall. So we're absolutely going to take that. We're only recruiting 20 players too, so we got open spots available. And then we also have a tight end from Washington transferring out of California. Slower guy, decent acceleration. And with the one-time transfer rule, we're getting these guys right away on the field. So that'll be nice. I think it's going to be fairly simple to get these guys because you just gotta put 5,000 into both of them. It makes it fairly simple when you don't have very many guys left in recruiting battles. You just dump as you divide them up equally and go from there. And quite frankly, these guys are, I mean, the D end has value because of where he's at. Simply because we're losing some defensive end talent in Platt. So he has value if he's able to play right away. But other than that, these two guys are kind of just icing on the cake for the recruiting class. All right, here we go. See if we get Reed and if we land the defensive end. I don't even know his name. That's bad. All right, I don't feel bad, though. He's not a super important member of this recruiting class. We only have a D tackle, though, so we do kind of need some D-line. Didn't recruit any secondary players, so we'll have to hit the secondary hard, but still need to beef up that offensive line. We have all the skill positions, so we end up with Tucker Wilburn and Jatavis Reed. Land them both. I don't think it's going to go in and add any extra players. Yeah, it didn't add any extra players to our recruiting class like the game likes to do. It's letting us stick with just 20. Sometimes it likes to go and add a ton of players, but we end up with a super solid class. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this team. Didn't need to put any points into Tucker Wilburn. We were going to win anyway. Jatavis Reed, we needed to put in. We were losing by 45, so 2,865 points, and he was headed to Cascade anyway. So strong class. Go ahead and check out position changes, and then it'll be progression week, which is when I will peace out, and we'll get into the last couple. Actually, you know what? I don't know how to. Yeah, I think I'll do a part 2, and I'll also include the preseason of the next season in part 2, so you'll get to see that off-season progression. So this is where part 1 will end. Garrett Humphries is the best player on our roster, and so is Kyle Mole, and so is this transfer, and Lowry, and Davis, and Lee, and okay, all right. Chandler is the best player on our roster, and after that, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players that came in this year as, I guess you could say, a recruit, because the transfers are a recruit. But Garrett Humphries, 79 overall running back. It's a 73 overall wide receiver. On defense, he is a decent free safety, so that's good to know. But he is absolutely a running back. We're putting him at running back. Will Watson, 74 overall quarterback. Let's go. 70 overall running back. 70 overall cornerback. 75 overall free safety. 73 strong safety. But he's a quarterback. We want him at QB. And there we have it. Kenneth Carter Kenneth Carter's a 63, and it's actually CJ Spencer who is the better quarterback of the two. Look at that. 71 speed and 71 acceleration. So he's not fast, but he's a playable quarterback. Like he has a legit chance at winning this QB battle. Let's look at their throwing stats. 78 throw power only for Spencer, 75 accuracy. So he is our most accurate quarterback on the roster. '84 injury as well, so he's a durable guy. Best awareness too, so that is something to note. Humphries and Lowry, both better than Chandler. Hale, I think I'm going to move him to fullback. What do we have at fullback right now? Nothing. So just so I don't get a garbage player added, we're going to move Hale. Hornbeck's going to get cut. I think I'm going to redshirt Chandler. Wide receiver, Kyle Mole, Sean Davis. Let's see what as running back, he'd be a 68, so he is capable of that kind of Deebo Samuel role. Kyle Mole is our best receiver heading into the season. Sean Davis, number 2. Jatavis Reed, who's a +6 gem with 890 speed, is our third best receiver. And then Henricks, Gendron, Key, Sean McGill. He's a tall receiver. So Jamari Richmond is our worst recruited player, our recruited wide receiver, and he's still better than the worst player on our roster from last season. Cool. If Rashawn McGill was a little stronger, I'd move him to tight end, but yeah, he's only a 44 overall tight end. At tight end, we have Mark Redmond, the transfer, Cameron Rollins, Duvernois, who I think can push for playing time right away. They list him as a blocking tight end, but he's got that 80 speed, so I think he could be pretty good threat through the air. Left tackle, we have Terence Lee, the freshman, 72 overall. He's going to start right away. Another freshman, Eddie Henry, starting at left guard right away. Center, we have Cavallo, who is -4 to a 64. Let's see. So, Tanner Trainer, 6'4", 299. He's a little tall, but we could move him to center. We have to. I'll look into it. We have to move somebody to center. Zach Denbo would most likely be. It's a 67 at center. Yeah, we'll go slide Denbo inside. Cavallo will back him up. And then let's move Trainer over to right tackle. There we go. Wilburn is not our top left end. but two guys with experience are ahead of him. Right end, Caleb Brandvold, Elijah Jones. So we need to recruit the D-line is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, our D-line needs a infusion of youth. Winchester still on the roster. Didn't recruit any linebackers, so you're not going to see any fresh blood here. Cornerback didn't recruit any of those either, and we're going to need to add some. And those free safeties are too slow to play cornerback. We don't want a 58 overall cornerback. 67. 61. Secondary is going to be rough next year. Calling it now. Yeah, yikes. Oops. Yeah, Clark is... What did I switch him to? I'm not quite sure what edit I just made that sent somebody to the wrong position. Yeah, it was definitely this guy. It was definitely Jalen Smith. Yeah, we don't want a bad player back there just because. We're going to move Wisner to cornerback. And no real perfect move here. Just adding depth to the outside. Let's see, I'm just going to switch somebody real quick to a cornerback. And then we'll see if it gives me the same error. No, it doesn't. Okay. So that's enough cornerbacks on the roster, so I'm not going to touch that position anymore. Dylan Lesser. What's your kick power? 79. And what are these guys going to have? Whoa, Rusty Phillips is terrible. He's a horrible kicker. Yikes. So we're going to need to recruit a new kicker instantly, because that kid can't hit anything. Yes, I want to keep my changes. So that's going to be, I believe, everything. Yep, training results is up next. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I'll save it. I'll jump back in right after training results. I'll show you guys that. We'll end off the regular season with conference moves. There's not going to be any. And then we'll get into the preseason of the next season. Exciting stuff here as we get underway with the Cascade Mountaineers Dynasty.